When you look at a language map of the Philippines, it's kind of weird. For instance, in most European countries, like the language map of Germany, you mostly just see dialects that are pretty similar to Deutsch. But when you look at the Philippines, it's kind of different story. They have many distinct languages, over 100 of them, and some estimates say as many as 200, spread across more than 7,000 islands. It's not the same at all. A bit of history. The Philippines has always been a cultural crossroads. Way before the Spanish showed up, Filipinos were already trading with China, India, and fellow Austronesian neighbors. It was a melting pot of ideas, goods, and languages. For over 300 years, Spanish colonization infused Philippine languages with a significant amount of vocabulary. Spanish was the language of government, law, and religion during this period. As a result, many Spanish words, especially those related to numbers, like the currency peso, and terms for money, also religious concepts such as iglesia, misa, and santo, legal terminology like abogado and derecho, and government terminology such as gobierno, alcalde, municipio, became integral to local languages. In addition, Spanish-based Creole such as Chavacano emerged in areas like Zamboanga, highlighting a unique blend of Spanish with indigenous linguistic structures. These influences still persist today. American colonization. When the Americans took over at the end of the 19th century, they introduced English as the medium of instruction and administration. The shift was deliberate. The U.S. established a public education system to modernize the country and promote business, diplomacy, and government functions in English. As a result, modern vocabulary in these fields, along with technical, academic, and corporate terms, increasingly became part of everyday language and even merged with native expressions in hybrid forms such as Taglish. The official and regional languages. Filipino and English are the official languages. Filipino is based on Tagalog, the language spoken in and around Metro Manila. Around 29 million speak it natively, and more than 50 million use it as a second language. But beyond these two, the real magic is in the regional languages. Cebuano, for example, spoken in Cebu and much of Mindanao, Ilocano, Northern Luzon, Hiligaynon, Ilonggo, Western Visayas, Waray, Eastern Visayas, Kapampangan, Bicol, and more. Even Chabacano, a Spanish-based Creole, survives in Zamboanga, and yes, people still speak Spanish in some families and academic contexts. Also, geography combined with language gives us diversity because the country is made up of thousands of islands separated by seas and mountains. Communities developed their own languages over time. That's why language variation in the Philippines is so intense. Even neighboring towns might have different dialects or speech patterns. Now, compare this. Ilocano, Northern Luzon versus Cebuano, Visayas, Mindanao. Both are Austronesian but quite different in vocabulary and pronunciation. Or even the hybrid languages like Taglish, Bisalog, Bislish, Bisacol, Hokaglish. English spoken by some Chinese Filipino communities. Common roots, shared DNA. Despite all these differences, most Philippine languages are Austronesian, so they share some core similarities. Those similarities include similar grammar, verb, subject, object structures, use of affixes for tense, mood, and aspect, and also shared vocabulary, though with variation. For example, the word for house in Tagalog is bahay. In Cebuano is balay. Ilocano has the word balay also. And the word for eat in Tagalog is kain. Cebuano is kaun. Ilocano is mangan. Same roots, different flavors. And why Filipino? not another language. The decision to establish Filipino based on Tagalog as the national language after independence was politically significant. It was seen as a way to unite a diverse country with hundreds of languages, while also creating a shared identity in the wake of colonial rule. But this policy also sparked debates. Many regional language speakers felt marginalized or alienated by the dominance of Filipino. And the language policy thus became not just a matter of communication, but also a political statement about national unity and the tensions between centralization and regional autonomy. So that's about it for now. Thanks for watching. Which country should we talk about next? Let us know in the comments.